Fans of Bonanza adored Hoss Cartwright, the gentle giant whose warmth, humor, and innocence made him one of television's most beloved characters. But behind the scenes, the man who brought Hoss to life, Dan Blocker, lived a story far more complex, courageous, and revealing than most viewers ever knew. Born Bobby Dan Davis Blocker on December 10, 1928, in DeKalb, Texas, he entered the world weighing a staggering 14 pounds, a fitting beginning for a life that would be larger than legend. Raised in the small town of O'Donnell, Texas, Dan grew up hauling grain, working construction, and helping in his family's grocery store, earning the nickname the Big UN for his immense strength and gentle demeanor. By age 12, he stood 6 feet tall and weighed 200 pounds, yet despite his size, he never sought conflict, carrying instead a deep sense of fairness and compassion that defined him throughout his life. After excelling in football at Texas Military Institute and earning a scholarship to Sul Ross State University, Dan discovered acting almost by accident when his college drama club needed someone strong enough to move props, a moment that changed his destiny forever. Though he received offers to play professional football, he chose the stage, following his passion to New York and eventually Broadway, before his life took a dramatic turn when he joined the U.S. Army and was sent to fight in the Korean War. Serving as a combat infantry sergeant near Pork Chop Hill, Blocker endured brutal trench warfare, freezing nights, relentless enemy fire, and 7 months of non-stop combat, earning a Purple Heart after risking his life to rescue a wounded soldier under fire. The horrors of war deeply affected him, transforming him into a vocal critic of violence and a passionate advocate for peace, especially condemning the use of napalm. After returning home, Dan married his college sweetheart Dolphia Parker and focused on family life, but fate intervened again when he moved to California to pursue a doctorate at UCLA and was quickly noticed by Hollywood casting agents. Westerns ruled television, and Blocker's towering presence, natural warmth, and understated humor made him a perfect fit, leading to roles on Gunsmoke, The Rifleman, Have Gun Will Travel, and Maverick, before his breakout role as Hoss Cartwright on Bonanza made him a household name. As Hoss, Dan embodied kindness, loyalty, and moral strength, drawing inspiration from Quaker teachings about doing good wherever possible, and though the character appeared simple, Dan himself was highly educated, thoughtful, and deeply principled. Off-screen, he formed close bonds with his co-stars, especially Michael Landon, and stood firmly against injustice, once refusing to let the cast stay at a segregated hotel unless black crew members were treated equally, declaring he would never tolerate bullying or discrimination of any kind. Fame, however, came at a cost. Dan struggled with constant public attention and longed for privacy, eventually moving his family to Switzerland, not for money. Bonanza had already made him wealthy, but for peace, anonymity, and a better life for his children. Known for his legendary appetite and love of hearty food, Blocker also co-owned the Ponderosa Steakhouse chain, though years of weight fluctuations and health strain took a toll. In 1972, after undergoing what should have been a routine gallbladder surgery, Dan suffered a fatal pulmonary embolism, shocking the world and leaving Bonanza forever changed. Though myths spread claiming he was buried in a piano box due to his size, the truth was far simpler. Dan Blocker was laid to rest in a standard casket, leaving behind an immeasurable legacy of kindness, courage, and integrity. His death marked the beginning of the end for Bonanza, as the show struggled without the heart and soul that Hoss brought to the Cartwright family, eventually ending in 1973. Years later, Dan's son Dirk Blocker would confirm what many long suspected. His father was not just a TV icon, but a deeply principled man whose sense of justice, humility, and compassion shaped everyone around him. Growing up under the shadow of such fame led Dirk to choose a quieter acting path, one less consumed by celebrity, carrying forward his father's values rather than his spotlight. In the end, Dan Blocker's true legacy wasn't his size, his fame, or even his unforgettable role as Hoss Cartwright. It was the enormous heart behind the legend, a heart that continues to resonate with fans decades later.